USA, at about 15% from Canada, and the remainder is made up of visitors from other Caribbean islands as well as other countries worldwide. But our UK visitors are very, very important to us. Number one, they tend to stay longer. Yeah. An average visitor from the UK spends between 10 and 14 days. So although we might have slightly more North Americans, the UK visitors actually give us a better yield. Okay. And so we do appreciate our business from the UK very, very much. And Antigua's always been popular with visitors from Britain, noted for such stars like Viv Richards, the Master Blaster, West Indian batsman, our famous Nelson's Dockyard, which is one of the best preserved naval dockyards in the world from the Georgian period, and our Antigua and Barbuda Sailing Week. So very well positioned in the UK market, and we have something what I think our UK visitors need.
Okay. Is it easy for a UK visitor to come in? No visas?
No visas are required. I mean, it's just your passport and you're here. So that's a plus. The other good thing for the UK visitors is that we speak English. We were formerly a British colony, so there's a lot of strong British history here. If you travel to the dockyard, you'll find towns like Falmouth, English Harbour, Piccadilly, those are, you can't get any more British than that. So, I mean, the connections to Antigua and Barbuda and the UK have always been strong, have traditionally over the years, and I think even more so now with our sailing pedigree. Right now we have it in our international boat show, where you have some of the largest and most expensive mega yachts in the world at the Nelson's Dockyard for the boat show this week. And, strong connection with the British yachting industry, British sailors. Most British sailors, I'd say 99% would have visited Antigua sometime, because we have, the largest sailing regatta in the Caribbean, the 5th largest in the world, held every Easter, every April in Antigua and Barbuda. And so it does attract the very best of British sailors, because we have something that's ideally suited to what they love to do here in Antigua.
I've seen some of the boats, and they seem to be bigger than the village I come from.
Absolutely.
You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on UKHealthRadio.com. You mentioned English, but when I've been around near the locals, I don't have a clue what they're saying. What are they speaking?
Well, we have our native Antiguan patois, Creole, for want of a better term, which is just a local dialect. It's English, spoken very, very fast, with a few African words mixed in. So it's something that traditionally our forefathers picked up when they learned English. They picked up the pidgin English, and it still survives today as a local language. And it's you can pick up a few words when you get here that you can get to understand a little bit of the lingo, but it's just part of who we are as a people, part of our culture, and something that we're very proud of.
Seems to be a lot of laughing involved with every sentence when it's in the local dialect. Every time they say something, they seem to be laughing.
Yeah, we are happy people, and I think that's important. When you look outside today at that 28-degree weather, the beautiful sunshine. I just left the UK last week on Saturday, where it was like 3-4 degrees in the day, -5 in the evening. So I look forward to coming back home, and I think that is the strong pull, particularly at this time of the year, for our UK visitors, to know that you can almost guarantee that you will have sunshine, and glorious sunshine here in Antigua and Barbuda. You will find a country with 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. So there's always a beach that you can lie out, and when we have a leap year, now we find an extra one that we can just throw in just for you.
Out of the 365 beaches, which do you recommend?
Oh, you've asked me a hard one, because there's so many good beaches. I love, in particular, Long Bay. Long Bay is located on the northeastern part of the island. It's extremely shallow, so it's ideal for families with kids. The sand is powdery white. You can stand, and anywhere in Antigua for that matter, and any of our beaches, you can actually stand, waist deep in the water and see your toes, and that tells you something. It tells you purity. It tells you pristineness. It tells you that it's just nature at its best. And so that's one of my favorite beaches, as well as Darkwood on the south coast. There are no hotels on that one, so you can easily stop for a picnic with your family, and have a romantic time. And then there is 17 miles of unbroken pink and white sand on our sister island of Barbuda. And a new beach that's newly renamed Princess Diana Beach.
Okay.
For all our UK visitors, Princess Di had a very, very strong connection with Antigua. She used to vacation here with William and Harry when they were little boys, and on her 50th anniversary we recently renamed that beach in her honor. It's a beautiful beach. It's a beach that you can walk on, and when you look at your footprints in the sand, you'll see that you probably might be the first person that walked on that bit of sand for the past year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. You never know. It's that deserted.
Mm-hmm.
It's that beautiful, and it's that uniquely Antiguan and Barbuda.
How easy is it to get to Barbuda?
Oh, Barbuda is very easy. We have daily little shuttle flights with those little puddle jumpers. It takes about 15 minutes, which is really a nice adventure. You can get over, spend a day. Or for those who are more inclined to use a ferry, there's also a daily ferry that takes about 2 hours to sail across. Barbuda is just about 27 miles north of Antigua. Very unspoiled, very beautiful. You have there one of the largest frigate bird nesting colonies in the Western Hemisphere, with over 5,000 frigate birds, and that's our national bird with a beautiful red balloon that the males have, and during the mating season, which is at this time of the year, that's a sight to behold. So we're particularly proud of that. So for our British visitors who are avid ornithologists or people who like to go bird watching and just love nature, Barbuda is an ideal one-day getaway as part of your vacation trip when you get to Antigua, just to go over and see nature at its most unspoiled.
There's something unusual about the sand in Barbuda?
Yeah, Barbuda uniquely has pink sand. In Antigua we have only the white sand, but Barbuda also have pink sand, which is the sand is actually made up of the shells, the small seashells of a very microscopic sea creature, and when it dies it leaves behind these little shells which have a pink hue. So there's a white sand, and then on the top of that there's a very thin film of lines of pink. So those are our pink sand beaches, which are very, very world famous, and they're not found in many places in the world. So we're particularly proud that here we can have two sands, pink and white.
Okay, great. You can follow me on Twitter @holiday_hut. I'm speaking to Colin James, who's representing the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority. It's an interview I recorded way back in 2012. I don't know about you, but when I'm on holiday, sometimes I just wish I could stay at the destination forever. And that's the next point I put forward to Colin. How easy is it to emigrate to Antigua from the UK? When you come here and you see all the beautiful beaches and all the scenery and the people and everything, you must get a lot of tourists who want to come here and move. Is that something that's easy to do?
That's easy to do. Very, very. We have an actually large expatriate British community here in Antigua and Barbuda, and a lot of that is fueled by just as you said. People come here, they love what they see here, and they consider Antigua and Barbuda for a second home. There's a large villa market on island where you can actually purchase a villa, or you can retire and build a second home. So that's very easy to do. There is no restrictions on foreign nationals or anyone else owning land in Antigua and Barbuda. Okay. So that's quite easy to do. Once you find the right location, you find the right property, we would love to have you come back and spend, a sizable time of your retirement, or even spend the rest of your life with us. It's a joy for us as Antiguans and Barbudans to welcome people to our shores. Tourism accounts for about 75-80% of our GDP. So that's our business. That's what we're about. And we look forward to welcoming even more visitors from the UK to come and holiday with us.
If somebody does buy a property, is it easy to get work over here, or do they really need to be retired?
I think like most persons from who migrate to a new country, you have to have a legal requirement to work there, and there are legal issues involved in getting a work permit. If you are an investor and you're setting up a business, well, I think that's very, very straightforward. I think that's quite easy to do. But if you wanted to move to Antigua, yes, there would be work permit requirements. But most people opt to who make second homes here tend to have their business elsewhere, and just tend to spend a few weeks, particularly during the winter months here in Antigua, to enjoy the beautiful climate. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned the legal requirements for a work permit. Are there any local laws that people should really be aware of when they come over?
Because we have been we have a strong British history. The British common law, a lot of our laws are actually based on European law. Our government is the same Westminster type system with the Prime Minister, members of Parliament and that sort of thing. So a lot of our laws are very similar. So I think usually what you would find in the UK and in Britain you would find in Antigua, and that's what makes it so attractive for British visitors, is because it's just like Brighton, but usually a lot better beaches, more sunshine.
Definitely more sunshine.
Yeah, so it's fairly very easy to transcend from the UK to the Caribbean, and particularly to Antigua and Barbuda, because of our strong British heritage, and we have similar laws. So I don't think there's anything really that your visitors need to be aware of that's different.
Okay, great. You got British type laws. You also drive on the correct side of the road.
We drive on the left here, yes.
What's the speed limit around the island? 'Cause I really haven't got a clue.
The speed limit, I think the speed limit, the maximum speed is about 40 miles per hour.
Okay.
Actually, so we ask our visitors, it's very easy to drive. Once you have a British driver's license, you can rent a car, you can rent a moped, you can get around the local taxis. And Antigua is at its maximum. It's about 20 miles across, so you can get from any place to any place in 25 minutes, half an hour maximum. So it's
Not when I drive. I kept getting lost last week.
But one thing that I can assure you, if you get lost, all you have to do is flag down the nearest driver or somebody at the side of the road, and they'd be happy to give you some directions to set you on your way.
Yes, we had to do that. It got that bad.
Yeah.
Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on UKHealthRadio.com. If somebody only's got a week to spend in Antigua, what do you recommend they do?
What I would recommend that you do, make sure, if you're here during Sundays, that you actually go to Shirley's Heights, the Lookout. There is a Sunday afternoon party that starts at about 4 o'clock and goes down into 9, 10, 11 at night with dancing, with barbecue. That is an absolute must. The sunset that you see from Shirley's Heights looking down to the dockyard, you can on clear days and clear evenings, you can see Montserrat, you can see Guadeloupe in the distance. It's absolutely breathtaking, and something that I recommend every visitor to actually do. If you love the outdoors, I would recommend that you go ziplining to the top of the rainforest. That's a lovely attraction. Go swimming with the stingrays. That's another attraction that's really, really popular, particularly with families and with kids. And it's one of the, it's been very much underrated over the years, or given a bad rap because of what happened some time ago with an incident in Australia.
Yeah.
But stingrays are such gentle, peaceful creatures. I mean, and once you have experienced that, it's like something that it's once in a lifetime. So I would recommend that very, very highly. I'd also recommend that you spend some time in St. John's, do a little bit of shopping, visit our local market, buy your arts and crafts, and just see the local side of life. I think it's so important that when you come to a country, you can actually experience what you can get in the resort and on at the hotel, but actually get out and experience the local culture. And I think there's no better day no better time to do that than to visit the local market on a Saturday and see all the local produce, walk through the streets of St. John's. It's very safe. And in the heritage key area of the city, there's some lovely duty-free shops that you can buy a particularly nice gift to take back home to that special someone in the UK who just couldn't come out to Antigua with you.
Yeah, I've done the Stingray City and it was great fun.
Absolutely, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah,
the wife liked it too, and there's always a screamer apparently. But it was really good.
Yeah, it's a really, really good experience. I'd also recommend you visit Barbuda. I think you get 2 islands for the price of one when you come to Antigua, and Barbuda will take your breath away. There are daily trips over on the ferry, as well as tour excursions that can actually take you over on a catamaran. You have a nice beach picnic and you have fun in Barbuda, and you get back over to the mainland. We have a host of little offshore islands on the Northeast Sound, and there are many catamaran cruises that go around the island, so you actually get to see Antigua and Barbuda from the sea, which is a very unique perspective. And you can gaze at a lot of the mansions that belong to a lot of the rich movie stars who have made their homes here. You know, Eric Clapton, Oprah Winfrey. You know, I mean, you see all these houses. Armani. And it's actually now part of a tour where people, you know, the tour guides actually point these homes out, and you